Chapter 2. The Fractured Harmony. Top Note Entertainment's headquarters loomed over Nashville's bustling streets, a modern cathedral to an industry once synonymous with cultural dominance. Its mirrored glass facade reflected the city's vibrancy, but discord was eroding its foundation within its walls. The label, renowned for launching icons and dictating trends, is now ensnared in a mire of controversy and internal disarray. Earl Mauller, Top Note's formidable CEO, stood at the head of an expansive conference table. His sharp gaze swept over the group of executives seated before him. The tension in the room was palpable, an undercurrent of frustration and uncertainty beneath their polished exteriors. Lisa Bergdoll, the VP of Marketing, broke the silence, her tone clipped and precise. The fallout from Brian Thomas's single has been catastrophic. Streaming numbers are plummeting, public backlash is relentless, and sponsors are quietly stepping back. Every headline reinforces the narrative that Top Note has lost its edge. Jason Hammond, the head of A&R, Artist and Repertoire, leaned forward, his tall, wiry frame taut with the weight of the crisis. Jason's role was pivotal in discovering and developing talent, serving as the crucial bridge between the label's creative and commercial ambitions. Today, however, his usual confidence was shadowed with concern. "It's not just the numbers," Jason added. "The artists are divided. Half want Brian dropped entirely, and the other half are digging in their heels, claiming we're abandoning him at the first sign of trouble. Morale is imploding, and it's bleeding into their work. Some are struggling to find inspiration. Others are questioning their loyalty to the label." The discord was as loud as it was familiar. Earl rested his hands on the table, his imposing presence quieting the murmurs of dissent. He had seen challenges before, but this time the chasm went deeper than a single artist or project. "We're spinning in circles," he said, his voice low but resonant. "This isn't just about Brian or one single. It's about who we are as a company and who we're failing to be. The question is, are we ready to confront that?" Lisa folded her arms and her skepticism was evident. "Confront it how exactly? We're hemorrhaging goodwill and resources. We don't have the luxury of philosophy right now. We need actionable solutions." Earl nodded, his expression unfaltering. "And we'll get them, but not in the way you're expecting. I am bringing someone in to help us reframe this, not just to patch the cracks, but to build a new foundation." The room went silent, the collective unease tangible. Earl let the moment stretch, forcing them to lean into the discomfort before he continued. "Her name is Dr. Kirsten Anderson," Earl continued, each word deliberate. "She's a Global Orchestration Coordinator. Her expertise is in identifying what's beneath the surface, what's preventing true alignment and restoring cohesion." The room fell silent as the executives processed this unexpected turn of events. Jason adjusted in his chair, his dark eyes narrowing slightly. "Alignment? Earl, we're not managing a mindfulness retreat here. We're in crisis. We need strategies that move the needle." "And that's exactly what we'll get," Earl shot back, his tone firm. "But strategies alone won't fix what's broken here. This isn't just a crisis of reputation or resources. It's a gorge in our identity. And unless we address that, no amount of PR spin will pull us out of this nosedive." Lisa's tone was softer than Jason's, though her skepticism ran through just the same. "You're asking us to put the future of the company in the hands of someone none of us know, using methods most of us don't understand." Earl's gaze didn't waver. "I'm asking you to trust me and to trust her. Because if we keep doing what we've been doing, we won't have a future to save. An hour later, Earl stood alone in his office, the hum of Nashville's nightlife muted by the thick glass windows. He stared out at the skyline, the weight of his decision pressing against his chest. The stakes were higher than ever, and the usual tools of his trade, charisma, pragmatism, brute force, felt inadequate. A knock at the door broke his reverie. "Come in," he said, turning to face the entrance. The door opened, and Dr. Kirsten Anderson stepped inside. She exuded a calm assurance, her tailored black suit and confident stride cutting through the tension in the room. She extended a hand, her grip firm, yet unassuming. "Mr. Mauller," she said, her tone measured. "Dr. Anderson," Earl replied, motioning for her to sit. Kirsten's gaze briefly swept the room before settling on him, her composure unshaken. "Tell me where the dissonance lies," she said, bypassing small talk entirely. Earl leaned back in his chair, his brow furrowing. "It started with Brian Thomas's latest single. The backlash has been relentless. Accusations of insensitivity, cultural appropriation, the works. It's a PR nightmare. But the real issue runs deeper. The team is disjointed, the artists are divided, and the company feels adrift." Kirsten nodded, her expression thoughtful. "Adrift," she repeated. "A loss of cohesion often stems from disconnection between people, values, and purpose. How long has this been brewing?" Earl exhaled slowly, his gaze moving to the wall of framed platinum records. "Too long. We've been chasing trends, trying to keep up with an industry that's moving faster than ever. Somewhere along the way, we lost sight of what made us leaders in the first place." "Your identity," Kirsten said. Earl's lips tightened into a faint smile. "You don't waste time." "I find it counterproductive," she replied. "Tell me about your team. How are they handling the pressure?" "They're imploding," Earl admitted. "No one's communicating. Not meaningfully, anyway. The trust is gone. Everyone's so busy defending their own turf, they've forgotten we're on the same side." Kirsten nodded. "When trust erodes, creativity suffers. And without creativity, this industry has nothing to offer. The question is, are you ready to rebuild?" Earl's eyes hardened with resolve. "I don't rebuild. I innovate. What's next?" A warm smile played on Kirsten's lips. "Then let's create something better. But it won't be easy. This will require confronting uncomfortable truths and committing to change at every level." Earl leaned forward, his voice steady and sure. "I don't need easy. I need results. Let's get to work." Over the next week, Kirsten immersed herself in Top Note's world. She joined marketing meetings with Lisa, shadowed Jason during artist collaborations, and quietly observed rehearsals. She sifted through years of data, searching for the patterns others had overlooked, the subtle gaps between intentions and outcomes, the unspoken tensions that had festered unchecked. When she returned to Earl's office on Friday evening, the city lights again framed the skyline. The week had been grueling, but the beginnings of clarity had started to take shape. Kirsten placed her notebook on the desk and opened it to a blank page. Across the top, she wrote 3 words: creativity, collaboration, resilience. "These are your pillars," she said, turning the notebook for Earl to see. Top Note's creativity drives your industry leadership. Collaboration will mend the fractures within your team, and resilience will build the trust you've lost with your audience and stakeholders. Earl studied the words for a long moment. "Where do we start?" "With Brian Thomas," Kirsten replied. "He's the flashpoint, but also the opportunity. How you navigate this controversy will set the tone for everything else." Earl nodded. "Understood. What's next?" "Next," Kirsten said, a mischievous smile playing on her lips, we harmonize. And with that, Top Note took its first steps toward rediscovering the harmony it had lost.